comparative criminal process deals with a variety of central issues in the criminal process, which is a process that begins effectively when somebody is charged with an offence and ends when the case is finally concluded, whether it's with a verdict or whether it's with the completion of an appeal. Now, there is a great deal of law there because there are many different steps in that process. But what we do in this particular course is two things. We isolate a number of key issues in that process, such as, for example, the decision to prosecute, the question of whether a person should or should not be granted bail, what would be, for example, the impact on a fair trial if there was a great deal of adverse or pre-trial publicity about the case. What would be, for example, the impact if there had been a long delay before the crime was reported. We look at all of these issues and we look at them in a comparative context, because in Ireland many of the issues that I've talked about are governed not just by ordinary law but very much by the Constitution as well. The Constitution is always in the background because Article 38 of the Constitution guarantees to everybody a trial in due course of law. And that short phrase, due course of law, has been given an enormous volume of meaning by the High and Supreme Court over the past 75 years or so, well, particularly since the 1960s. And therefore, we're looking at that. And because other countries, such as the United States and Canada in particular, both of which have constitutions, and indeed common law countries that don't have that kind of stricture, such as the United Kingdom and Australia and New Zealand, we look at, and of course we have to look nowadays as well at the European Court of Human Rights and its jurisprudence. What we're looking at is how very basic issues, like, for example, decisions on prosecution, decisions on bail, the role of the jury, where the jury exists, how all of those are addressed here and then in other countries, and trying to gain insights into the comparative merits of the approaches adopted in other countries and how our situation might be improved as a result of learning from other countries.